Hi, my name is Veronique Bio. I am currently studying business and marketing, and I'm currently working with Homes to Haringey, working on the repairs team, doing some admin work. The incident I want to talk to you about actually happened to me a few weeks ago. So when I just joined the company, I got a call from a tenant, and I wasn't really prepared for that phone call, and that's really what I want to talk to you about. It's just gonna show you how important I think what I've learned through this incident, how important it is to effectively communicate with someone who is, who you're working with, or just communication in general. So the incident actually took place when a leaseholder called the office to say that she had a leak coming into her property, and the leak was penetrating from her ceiling. She had said. So at the time, if there's a leak in the ceiling, what you have to do is you have to send out a plumber for him to check out where the leak is coming from. So he has to trace and remedy the leak. So that's what I did. I proceeded to send out a plumber to her property to find out where the leak was coming from, and to be able to stop the leak, to stop any damage to her property. However, when the plumber arrived at her property, he reported that the leak was not coming from the ceiling. It was not coming from any internal pipes. It was actually coming from the external walls. So water was seeping from the wall and coming into her property. Now, because of this, it just made a huge difference, because when it's coming in from the external wall, it's not actually a plumber who deals with it, it's a bricklayer. So I had actually sent out the wrong tradesman. So when we finally got round to sorting out the issue, it was way too late. There was already extensive damage to the property. The leak had gotten progressively worse, and we actually had to move the leaseholder from the property in order to be able to carry out the works that was needed to our property. So when my manager found out about this, she was obviously very angry. She presumed that I had sent out the wrong tradesperson, knowing that it was actually coming from an external wall. But this is why I say that it's important for communication is very important, because that wasn't the case. The leaseholder had not transmitted to me the correct information, and just made me think of how important it is to communicate effectively with people. And it also made me think of Schramm's model of communication, which is this one that I'm showing you right now. Sorry, it's this one. And it just shows how communication can be so easy when it's done correctly. First, on this side, you have the encoder. This is the person who delivers the message. So in my case, the encoder would have been the leaseholder that was giving me the message. This was the message, which was the leak, and the decoder was myself. So this process would go from the encoder. She would send me the message. I would decode the message and then send another message back to her. And it's a process. And this is the process of communication. However, without the message being transmitted correctly, information is just words. The information that she was giving me was not really it was not correct, it was not important, it was just words at that stage. And it just really shows how important it is to be able to communicate the correct things, so that the person who is getting the message will receive it also in the correct way. So it just showed me that I need to also know what I'm talking about, because I don't just have to deal with tenants. I have to deal with people, surveyors, planners. So I have to deal with different departments in the council every day. So it just showed me that I also have to brush up on my communication skills. I need to be able to talk to people and transmit messages to people in the correct way. If I could go back to this situation in question, I think what I would have to do is maybe ask the leaseholder a bit more questions, get her talking a lot more on what is actually going on in her property, so that she can tell me exactly, you know, where the leak is coming from, what areas in her property, what it's affecting, and then that way I'll be able to determine for myself what the actual problem was and not rely on the information that she was giving me. And also what I had said at the beginning of this video was that it was just when I had started, you know, just when I had started or joined the company. So at that stage, I wasn't really aware. You know, there's a lot of things that I didn't know at that point in time. I wasn't really, you know, I didn't know the difference between plumbing and bricklayers, the different trades. I didn't really know all the correct terminology and all that. So it also showed me at that stage that I really need to learn a lot more on repairs, which was my actual job, and learn a lot more on what terms that is the correct terms, and how to and how to convey that over to people as well. Also, if I was to go back to this situation, I think that I would also speak to other people. So at the time, if I had you know, spoken to one of my colleagues or my manager and told them that I wasn't too confident with this core, that they should help me out a little bit, and they would have been able to determine what the actual problem was a lot more and a lot faster than I was, and it wouldn't have gotten to the stage where it got. And it's all, again, that's communication, being able to communicate with my colleagues, being able to communicate with my manager, being able to communicate with the leaseholder. It's all part of it, and it's just, you know, this incident just really showed me how important it is to communicate.